Great. Okay. So we'll just start straight away with the Geo. Whoop. Oh, let's do it. There you go. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Great. Okay. Great. Great. Onegaishimasu. All right, good. So we'll just loosen the body up a little bit. Take shoulder width. Start the Geo. Lengthen the arms. Release the shoulders. And a little bit of the elbows. The heels gently strike the ground. Okay, just start to add a little bit of tension in the arms down. So as if you're kind of pressing the jaw down, but keep the body long. A kind of length through the spine. Knees releasing, hips releasing. Weight settling into the ground. We'll work the front and back direction, just again lengthen up to the top, a little bit of tension up through the arms, and just play with bowing and then bowing the back. A little bit of tension through the arms. Lengthening all the way down the front of the body, all the way through the back. And just take it as far as comfortable, so that you can really bow. Body back. Really blow the body forwards. The curtains. Right. Okay, good. Just lengthening the jaw down onto the shoulders. Just let the arms kind of relax over the top. Release the wrist. Just play with gently swaying. Don't put too much pressure down onto the shoulders, but think about kind of lengthening the arms out down the jaw. So kind of lengthen out through the side. You can think about either extending out through the fingertips, don't all the way, or out through the palms that way. And just think about rolling side to side with the movement. Like a scarecrow in the wind. Boom. That's play with two movements in this case. You can, if you think about, you keep the jaw horizontal and kind of move the body this way, or you can lengthen, or you can take the jaw down in a vertical movement that way, right? So just play within these two movements, and you can obviously do both at the same time. Just play with those kind of possibilities as you do it. Big movement. With the goal to really open up the sides of the body, especially the ribs, both sides of the body. Okay, cool. Just take the jaw at the hip. Just going to place it where your belt would be. In this case, just on my belt. Just loosen out into rotation. Just a little bit of tension in the arms. The hands specifically. So you have to rotate. Rotate. And just think here about two movements that you can make. One is like if you rotate and compress down and kind of sink into it. And the other one is if you rotate and lengthen up to the top. So it's basically in the knees and the hips. One's the knees are kind of flexed open. That's sinking down, and the other that's slightly lengthening up. Hips are kind of pulling up long. But you can do both, obviously. If you do it, just going to slightly change the motion in the body. And just kind of lengthening through the core of the body. Great. Okay, last one, just kind of really activate the pelvis. Just place it a little bit lower, so in this case, just below the belt where the pelvis is. And just play with kind of closing into the jaw and then opening out with it. With the jaw. In this one, don't grip the jaw. So your hands are basically in front. You roll and basically collapse the hip onto the jaw, and pressing the hip into it, for the pelvis. And then as you roll and open it out, just have a little bit of pressure out with the hands. So you're closing down, a little bit of pressure here, and then open out, a little bit of pressure back with the arms, and just clamping the jaw to the body. So you close and then you open. Close and open. Close down and open out, and let the whole body kind of close down, and let the whole body open up. So everything's closing, everything's opening. Everything closes, everything opens. Good. Good. Great. Let's do a couple more. Great. And then just taking the jaw back shoulder width, raise up to the top. Nicely breath in, and lengthening down. All the way down, curl up, and lengthen up to the top. And lower yourself down. Just in your own time, follow your own breath. If you do it. Just a couple more in your own time. Great. Good. And just go to the shoulders. So just roll out the shoulders. Really think about kind of opening the body up from the front. So if you could imagine like a zipper down the body and pulling them open, and you're also closing the back, the shoulders. So I really feel the movements kind of wrapping around the body. Isolating the shoulders, but the whole body's involved still. It's new. And with the jerk, it becomes a kind of rowing motion in a sense. With the elbow. And you're going to reverse it. And then just take it kind of shoulder width again, and just roll out. Again, a kind of rowing motion, more like a kind of kayaking backwards. Go in reverse. There. Let the hips really guide the hands in this case. And change. Rowing forwards. Going somewhere. Good. Okay, just take it to the hips, just roll big circles. Change direction. Take the jaw one side, take the foot forward into a lunge, the back heel off ground, both toes forward, hips and square. Weight evenly distributed between the feet, a little bit of bounce through the body. Kind of elastic, springy quality in the body. Let yourself come to the front, just the toes pointing forwards, sink and spread into the legs a little bit. Again, a kind of elastic springiness through the body, especially the lower body. Changing direction of the leg. Good. Change over, take it a little bit lower, just let the knee just float off the ground. Front knee's bent. And down. A little bit deeper, so you want to kind of get the hips a little bit lower than, not lower than the knees, just about the same level. So you should be able to just let the jaw rest on the knees, maybe, on a good day. There. Oh, bad day. Somewhere there. Or the old training in the English pubs was to put 2 pint glasses on the knees and you do horse stance. And the last person to lose, the last person to stand gets the pint. Good, and then change direction. One side, knees just floating off the ground. One more time to the front. Just let the knees lengthen. Bring the jaw down to the ground. Hands just in line with the chest. And just gradually start to release the jaw down to the ground. Let it just place it on the ground. Let the head sink towards the jaw. If you're flexible enough, you can bring the elbows down, the forearms. Let the head just rest into the arms. A couple of deep breaths as you settle into it. Great. Just bring the head back up so you're just looking out forward. Just roll the jaw out like a kind of rolling dough, pizza. Bring the hips back, lengthen through the fingertips. Right, a little bit further. Nice couple of deep breaths. Pulling the hips back and the hands forwards. There we go. Nice and slowly rolling the jaw back. Keep the hips where they are. A little bit back. Just place the jaw on the knee, on the shins. Pull the back up nice and long. Feel the ground in the feet and just gently pull the chest up long. Bring the feet together. Shake off the body a little bit. The legs. Good. Okay, great. We've just got a little bit of rotation work. So just with the wrist, just turn it from the center. You're rolling through the forearm. Nice tight grip with the finger, ring finger. Bending the hand. A little bit of extension out. Pull the elbow tax the body. Great, changing the hand. Give one side figure of 8, one hand. the hip release, guide the hand. Changing the arm. Good. Alternating the hand. Good. Just walking the feet forwards and backwards. And communicate the hip into the feet and the hands. Just give the body a little bit of freedom now, rather than forwards and backwards, just let yourself rotate a little bit with it. Don't hit yourself in the knee. Great, nice. Good. Okay, great. So there's one variation to this, which is to use the lower body. So if you've not got a mat down, it might be a bit difficult, but just do this slowly. So every so often, just allow yourself to come down, find the knee, and come back. Come down, find the knee, come back. You don't have to touch the ground with it, but if you've got a mat down, you can also bring the knee down fully. Do a couple of rotations, balanced, hopefully. Take your time coming down, coming out. Move on the ground, come out. And it's just when it's kind of lower the body down. You don't need to touch the ground so much. Think about the kind of movement we make with the 30-watt KATA. Coming down, coming up. Nice, nice. And a kind of seamless transition up and down, basically, with the hands still working. Yeah, good, nice. Yeah, great. Okay, good. Nice. Okay, this is too easy. So you're going to go down, change the knee as you go down. Okay, so you go down and then change the knee, come up the other leg. Yeah, and then roll, go down, change the knee, come up the other side. Go down, change the knee, come up the other side. Yeah, give it a try. Oh, don't hit yourself. You go. Yes, there we go. You could just go down. Yeah, good. Yeah. Great, nice. Again, kind of seamless transition. Yeah. Like a cat. Yeah, nice, very nice, very nice, very nice. Okay, we'll do one more, even harder. So in this case, you're going to go down onto the knee and change direction as you go down on the ground, right? So you can do this a few ways, but the main one is like I come down, change, roll, come up the other side. Yeah. So you want to basically go down on the knee. You can do that at any point. So you want to kind of change the knee. You might need to change the way of the jump. Doesn't really matter, just follow it. But the key thing is the sense of coming down. Roll, change, come up. Just watch the kneecap. You don't want to twist on the kneecap in this case. So do this very carefully. You want a kind of medium surface floor. So hard surface is difficult, and it's also a soft surface is also difficult. And it's kind of something between. But the main thing is not to kind of disturb the kneecap in a sense. You want the pressure to be equal on the kneecap. Ooh, that's a tricky one. No, it's not. It's good. Yeah, that's it. Okay, perfect. We've been looking at kind of kata work, and we're looking at 6 counts, and we're looking at this different ideas of it, looking at a kind of 8 count, 10 count, 12 count, all this stuff. We'll look at the 6 count first, and we'll look at the 13 jo kata, so kind of classic kata for us, and then we'll just look at some kind of variations of it. So we'll just start with number 6 on the 6 count. So just do this nice and sort of basic form. We've got ich, ni, san, shi, go, and rock. So you've got kind of 3 of the big main components of the jo: the ski, the strike, and again. Really nice, simple kata for us. 3 of the main components of the jo, just missing the hassle over it. But you've got the ski, striking movements, and you've got the again. Yeah, the ABC for the jo. That's it. Good. Yep. No, nice. Great. Okay, we'll look at the 13. So we'll just kind of work up with the rune source, kind of break it down. I was kind of focusing some kind of details with it. So just start with the first two. So you're working from a kind of 0 kunai point, and you're going to wedge the line left side, and then find a hayagashi right side. Each slice has come back. Starting from nothing, and then 1 to the left, and 2 has hayagashi to the right, and then back. H. A. Okay, we'll just do one simple exercise, kind of stupid exercise. This is about just the way I'm kind of holding the arm. I like stupid exercises. They're kind of stupid, kind of useful. Stupid's useful. Like I said, what the main thing we do when we go to grounding is we push into the ground. So we do like this with the hand, right? I do like this with it. Right? I'm actually pushing into the jog. So it looks like the form looks like this. So everything's going. I'm trying to push into the ground, right? That's the first one we'll look at is like this. I'm like pushing the ground with the jog. Now, if that's okay, like I can press weight into it, but if I go to like mobilizing it, it feels really stuck, right? I feel like I'm kind of stuck on the jog. Now, if my goal is to like mobilize the arm down the weapon or mobilize the body on the ground, this is kind of representing the body and this is the ground. Right? If I'm sticking into it, like pressing into it, my mobility is really kind of stuck, right? And this is where you get like squeaky jog syndrome. That people have like clinging on and so this and this. The second one is where we're kind of I'm not really settled on the weapon. So the ground, the body's like it's not really sure where the ground is. It's kind of somewhere here. Now I can't mobilize it with the jog because it's just not connected, right? And this is where the form looks like something like this. The body's it's like in the sky, right? My head's in the sky. And it comes back down to earth, right? Going to the ground.
Okay. Yeah.
This is like I'm like really floating off the ground. My hands here. So it's somewhere between like I push into the ground and I kind of float off the ground. It's somewhere where I just rest onto it, right? So I just rest the hand. So you've got like and I've got like dum. Now you wonder what it's like. I don't play piano or anything or any instrument, but that feeling like you just lay the hand on the piano. Boom. So there's just like weight resting in it. And there's, in this case, the body's just weight resting in it. Now I can mobilize the hand down the weapon that way, right? But the moment I press into it, it becomes stuck. The contact point gets sticky. And if I have no contact point, it's for nothing. I've got zero, right? Zero contact, just a kind of energy field and a feeling of focus, but no actual, a feeling of connection, but no actual connection. So connection to the real body.
A really good example, Michael.
Right, so really, it's really simple. It's like, well, 𝘧𝗔𝗞𝗜𝗠𝗠, you look at videos with 𝘧𝗔𝗞𝗜𝗠𝗠, or Lewis will tell you, like, 𝘧𝗔𝗞𝗠𝗠 used to do this, like, it's not this, it's not this, it's something in between it, right? There's something, there's a kind of flexible connection. And in this case, with the grounding, it's the difference between pushing into it, floating off it, and just rest into it. Now, the resting one's the interesting one because it allows the structure to relax, right? And it allows the structure to mobilize really on the weapon, right? And boom, it's stuck, and boom, it's nothing, right? So just like, the main thing is it's like feel that quality I can get in the arm in a very simple exercise, but getting it in the whole body, that's difficult, right? But in a way, just notice the quality of the contact with the feet now. So the same thing, I can kind of push the feet into the ground like this, and I can kind of force the feet into the ground, or the feet never really find the ground, so they're just kind of floating. And I'm kind of in the head. So this, the body's kind of pushing down, or you just kind of relax and sit into it. That's the kind of one you want with it. So just go to the form, a very really simple form. This goes from here, and that context will kind of start here. Again, if I'm kind of here, that contact's really like great. It's like I'm a cheese and I'm grating along the ground. Right? So in this case, you want to just be somewhere there. I mean, at the end of the day, we're talking about non-resistance, right? I don't want to resist the ground. That's the first step, right? Non-resistance. Don't resist the ground, but don't grate against it either, right? It's like slightly, well, you'll grate the feet, but you'll get an exfoliate in your feet, but nothing really else. No other quality will come from the bottom. Yes, there. And also difficult to kind of find this quality of movement. Obviously, you want to do that. But really focus on the starting and the end point in this case. But you've got 2 points in it, 3 points in this position, again, where you just rest into the ground. You've got this position, again, where you want to just feel that you rest into the ground, and then this position, again, where you want to just let the body settle into the ground. And that's really the kind of stuff you're looking for with it. And just notice the difference between that and pushing will feel like a lot of effort, a lot of work. Yeah, but I also don't want to kind of floating. Nothing. Yeah. Something a bit chunkier. So there's something behind it, but it's not force, basically. Yeah, good. That's. There's a cat that likes to hunt birds outside this window, and I was watching him yesterday. And he really, if you watch the way he moves the body, like this is his center. He really moves like this along the center, right, along the ground. So it's like his center's like slinking across the ground, and he gets low, and he says, and there's no point where his center goes like, right. So he's all the time when he's stalking the bird, the center's like hooking into the ground all the time. This is great to watch. So that's the kind of quality. We'll go into 4. Go up to 4. So, but the center's kind of down low, and as you come into this one, trickier now. Down low. Yeah, that third position is tricky to get that feeling, but just allow yourself to sink and settle. Sink and settle. Sink and settle. Sink and settle. Yeah, that kind of quality, and then come back to, and then that's your kind of 0 point. Eight. Good. Nice. Okay. We'll play a little bit with this. So in a way, it's kind of breaking the kata or the count in the kata, but in a sense, it's not. You're doing the movement as it later would be applied, right? So do now the feeling in 3 and 4 is that you pulse out of the block into the strike. So this is later where it goes. So you're looking for now, keep the same in 1 and 2. So you've got this 1, 2. Now this movement, think about rolling underneath, pulsing back in straight away. Yeah. So the main thing with this is to get away from doing this. Yeah, where the arms kind of pull up and come down. Think about getting underneath and then thrusting the jaw back in. So the idea with this is that someone's thrusting in, you're taking their jaw up, and just as the jaw comes up, you're hitting them in the stomach, right? So you're getting underneath the weapon, and then you're hitting them straight in the stomach. So people say with this, the idea is that I go straight away from the block, I guide the jaw away, and then straight away I'm onto the center line. So there's no gap in between. So this is the one people have a problem with. They think you need to hit the jaw or do something with it. You don't. You just go underneath it and boom, straight away. Right? It's kind of one response, in a sense. But 2 movements in the kata, it's kind of a block and a strike, but just play with that kind of 3 and 4 together. So if you want, you can also just do it from the kind of ski, from the strike. So you can just practice like that. But the key things like quality in the body, which is there's a pulse riding off the block into the strike. Into the ski. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, nice. Yeah, and this way the footwork's actually really important because what I don't want to do is too much movement. So if you think if you're doing this on the kind of crosshair, you've got the first one goes to the left, right? Second goes over to the right side, and then this third move, I go back with the left foot goes over to the left side. The right foot finds the original center line, right? So the right foot's on the center line here, and then I follow that line of that foot for the strike. Yeah, so the movement's quite simple in a sense. So the wedge is off to the left, but that front foot, the right foot, is directly on the center line. And that allows me, once I've got the block pass, to just pass straight in down the line. So there's no kind of going around. So this is where the 13 is quite, in a sense, a kind of advanced one, because a lot of the time you're going down the line, you're going directly back on the line, but you do it through wedging. This is the kind of special skill in this one, in a sense. Yeah, so 2 through 4. Nice. Okay, great. We'll take it to the hasso part. So you're going to do the hasso and the strike. So this is bringing like the last big part of the jaw work. So in this case, we'll just go from that position. So find the ski position. You're going to rotate the foot, just slightly rotate it so that you can come through, pass the body through, and find the jaw. I'm just coming up to this position. Come up to the top if you can. Come up to that high position. And then from that, release, find the strike. You're just working from position 4. You've got rolling through, 5 and 6. Can't do that movement fully, but you know this movement. So this is 5, 6, going from position 4. You can either do the whole set or just work from there. So, Okay, good. So just watch with this one. There's a danger in the movement that the hasso rotation that I do is 2 moves, right? So the danger is that I do this. I go 1, 2 with the Joe. That's fine. It's like where you kind of learn and kind of you can practice it that way. It's not wrong in a sense. But try and practice now the sense that as you go, you release everything through it, and then you release the hip back into the strike. So think of this as this is really like I think about 𝘵𝘠𝘦𝘴 when this is like rolling, opening, and then boom, closing down with it. Yeah, so it's really, if you think of this really like center work, the center's rolling through, then opening and then driving into the cut this way. So on a kind of energetic level, which is like, I get this, rolls and presses. Yeah, so it's got a kind of, so it's really classic hip work, really like a kind of really big, long 𝘵𝘠𝘦𝘴, big, dense, heavy hip work. Yeah, that's. Yeah. The other technique, this is 𝘰𝘬𝘦. So I've been teaching quite a lot 𝘰𝘬𝘦 in the recent few weeks or something. Think about 𝘰𝘬𝘦. So again, I don't want to do this as 2 moves. So if I do 𝘰𝘬𝘦, and then I go, and then I with the arm, right? I put the body in, and then I do this with the arm, right? Yeah, maybe, maybe this will work, maybe not. So get the feel as you go through this motion. Think about coming through, rolling, connecting, rolling back, and then pressure through. So just do this now without the Joe, just the Joe in the left hand. Think about kind of rolling in, 1 motion back, and then rolling it through. And all the time trying to keep the shoulder and the hand connecting to the hip somehow. The difficult move, you've got the rotation, open, guide it back, and then press it through. So all the time you're just exploring this kind of connection from the hand, from the hip and the hand, and that kind of elastic quality. Now straight away this goes towards like 𝘰𝘬𝘦 work, 𝘵𝘠𝘦𝘴 work, all those things kind of rotating through and using that connection. So just kind of play with it a little bit. At the end of the day, it's not really about the weapon. It's really about using the weapon to connect the body deeper, on a deeper level. Right. Oh, that's it. So form's important, but feeling comes first, basically. Feelings always come first. Okay. Great. Good. Okay. Good. We're gonna get a move on. We'll never finish the kata. Okay. We're gonna go from the last position, from the position you finished it. So from this position, we'll do the whole last section. Just focus on the last section. So roll back, block, ski, fall back. Don't hit the sofa. Roll through, ski, roll back. Finish the ski. Yeah. So we'll just do the whole last half, just to kind of finish. So you're working from number 6. You've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then going back. Just play. You can either do the whole set or you can just focus on the last section. It's kind of difficult enough to need to practice a lot. Just that last part. Because we tend to build up from the start, we tend to practice the start more than the end. So useful just to kind of split the end off and practice it solo. Nice. Okay, good. Yeah, so you both know the kata like good enough to do it lazily, right? Me too, right? So I can do the kata lazy. Now, don't do it lazy. Watch this. We'll practice one skill with this, which is like this. Just go from this position. So I've got the wide position already. Now just practice one thing, which is kind of pulls through the feet. So I'm going to roll the body back for that block without the rotation. Just kind of pressing the foot and back, and then that pressure from the foot back to the ski, and then the pressure back to that. So just play with this kind of pulse, just that part. From here, you've got like 1 pulse, 2 pulse, 3 pulse back. And it's a kind of gum, gum, gum through the body, right? So just play with this. It's like starting from this position. And just kind of roll the hip in from the foot, press, boom, boom, boom. And I'm trying to get the center to kind of press the hand out, press the jaw out, and send it back as well. So you're rolling the jaw back, you're pressing it, you're pressing back. So you're kind of pulsing the jaw out, boom, boom, and bringing it back. Like a yo-yo. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, good. Good. Again, go to a kind of feeling level with this, which means you can explore it in the way the body moves, right? So the idea behind this, look at this, think about it like a back fist. So I'm going to kind of, the first movement, I'm going to use the right arm to do it. I'm going to kind of roll the hand back and find that position. And then I'm going to snap from the back foot. And then I'm going to roll the hand back, right? So just play with this. So I go from like neutral open to rolling, preparing, and then rolling it out, and then rolling it back or whipping it back, right? Just play with that. So yeah, it's based on the footwork and that same kind of feeling. I'm going to open and roll back, prepare, and then I release, and then I come back. Later, kind of bring this together. So let's get this feeling kind of roll back, release. That comes out, and then whip it back. That's it. Again, that movement's coming from the feet, basically. Feet to hip to hand. Yeah, good. 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 We'll do the last section of it. So just work now from the hasso, from the 𝘭𝘰𝘦 position, and you've got now the high block. rolling through the high block. Get the hips really kind of into the movement, so the hips come into it. The jaw comes through, and then press you into those jaw, pressure back, and then again from the back foot. There, pressing to the ski. Okay, so just working that very last section. I'll find space I can do this. Roll the hip, roll the hip, roll the hip, roll the jaw. Bam. Roll it back. Bam. Press it in. Yeah. So really working on it. All this is really pulsing and pressing away through the weapon. Hip. Well, that's not. Good, great. Okay, just run through the whole kata. So with that kind of feeling through all of it, and that quality of pulsing the center of the hand. Again, really firmly in the ground as you do it, but not pushing down. Okay, we'll just finish the last couple of minutes. Do a few sets. Hey. Oh. Hey. Yes. Okie dokie. Good. Okay, great. We'll stop that. Really good. Great. どうもありがとうございます。
どうもあり
どう
がとう。
もありがとうございました。先生。
Okie dokie. There we go. Very good.